Hello everyone and welcome to the F1 Corner after the qualifying session of the Portuguese Grand Prix where Valtteri Bottas outpaced his teammate Lewis Hamilton for a Mercedes front row lockup and Max Verstappen takes third place but is disappointed with that result. We will explain why shortly, but he is not the only disappointed driver, so let's go through the whole qualifying as usual and analyze what happened. Before we start, obviously, remember to smash the like button and to subscribe to this channel so that you do not miss any update regarding the Portuguese Grand Prix or any other race this season. So let's start with Q1. We're out in Q1. Daniel Ricciardo, Lance Stroll, Nicolas Latifi, Mick Schumacher, and Nikita Mazepin. The two Haas, no surprises there. Both gave it their all. Nothing much they could do. Nicolas Latifi, pretty disappointing result for him. He seemed to be struggling all the weekend compared to George Russell. We'll start in 18th place and we'll hope that he can find life in that car for tomorrow's race. Lance Stroll, first disappointment of the day, 17th place, despite being the Aston Martin with upgrades this weekend, while teammate Sebastian Vettel made it easily into Q2. Stroll making mistakes and just could not understand where the pace went. Starts in 17th place and should be disappointed with that. Same for Daniel Ricciardo, over a second slower than teammate Lando Norris in Q1. He does not understand where that time went. Sure, he made a few mistakes as we saw on TV with a few lockups, but that does not explain everything. Ricciardo, first time out of Q1 since Japan 2019, so really we knew the McLaren would be struggling, but not that much, and for Ricciardo it is a very big disappointment. Lance Stroll, we expect also the Aston Martin to be struggling overall, but this is also some qualifying to forget. So tomorrow in the race will start P16 Daniel Ricciardo, Lance Stroll 17, followed by Nicolas Latifi, and Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin will close the grid. In Q2, we're out George Russell, Antonio Giovinazzi, Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda, and Kimi Raikkonen. First of all, good job to both Alfa Romeo, making it once again into Q2. We see that this car does have a lot more pace than it had last season, and that given the right condition they can perform. Raikkonen and Giovinazzi, only a few tenths of a second separating them. And this is the story of this whole qualifying session with a lot of wind gusting around the track. It was a bit of a game of luck to everyone where they end up on the track when the wind picks up. So in that case, it's 6/10 of a second, but I think it could have been both drivers either way. But Giovinazzi taking 12 in front of Raikkonen, that's a good job for the Italian who is trying to secure a drive for next season. Yuki Tsunoda still trying to learn from the Alpha Tauri team, only 4/10 of a second behind Pierre Gasly, which is not much. It's also a track where the young Japanese never drove before, so he is learning. He's also changing his approach to qualifying to avoid crashing like he did in Imola. Overall, I think this is a good result considering the conditions and the fact that he is a rookie. Fernando Alonso, a little bit disappointing considering that Esteban Ocon, his teammate, did make it to Q3. Alonso still not fully at ease with that car. He still got to learn and admit himself that it's not necessarily the car, it really is himself that needs to work. So Alonso will start in 13th place. George Russell, astounding lap from him, 11th place, only 5/100 of a second behind Pierre Gasly, missing Q3 by the slimmest margin. The Williams teams was very happy when he came back to the garage. It was so close. Once again, Mr. Saturday making wonders will start in front of both Alfa Romeo and even in front of Renault and AlphaTauri. So We'll start in 11th place tomorrow with free choice of tire: George Russell in Williams, Antonio Giovinazzi 12, Fernando Alonso 13, Yuki Tsunoda for AlphaTauri 14, and Kimi Raikkonen in 15th. And now for the showdown in Q3. I mentioned before, Valtteri Bottas pole position in front of Lewis Hamilton and Verstappen third, but this is considering that no drivers improved their time in Q3, and Max Verstappen had a lap time deleted for exceeding track limits. Max Verstappen was our pole sitter. If not for that deleted lap time, he had done a 1:18.2, which would have been a tenth faster than Valtteri Bottas for his first outing, despite making mistakes. But because he went off track, got his lap time deleted, that is why he is disappointed with his performance, because since nobody could improve on their second outing, there was very little chances that Verstappen would outpace the Mercedes. We'll come back to our top three in a moment. Sebastian Vettel starts in 10th place. I don't think it was expected for Aston Martin, especially not for Vettel after two horrific races where he struggled with the car, and considering that Lance Stroll only made it to 17th place. But very good job for Sebastian Vettel, was at the right place at the right time and made it into the top 10. Same for Pierre Gasly, good job. We know this AlphaTauri got performance in it and that it can do wonders with good drivers. He will start in 9th place. Charles Leclerc, a little bit disappointing on his side, could probably have done better when you see that his teammate Carlos Sainz did 5th, 3/10 better, but as I mentioned before, it is a bit of a game of luck for everyone, where you were on track when the wind picked up and with everyone also on track at the same time. Tire temperature was also an issue. Many drivers doing 2 out laps to get the temperature high enough in those tires. So Charles, 8th place, a little bit disappointing considering his last races, but Ferrari is still in a rebuilding process. So I think making it into the top 10 and bringing a fight for tomorrow is what is important. Lando Norris, 7th after 3rd place on the podium in Imola. We'll be happy with that, considering that McLaren seemed to struggle pretty much through the whole weekend. Esteban Ocon, 6th place. This is a big surprise for everyone. I think the Alpine really seems to like this track. Alonso, yes, only made it to 13th place, but Ocon showing that he's at ease with that car this season, better than he was last year. We'll start in 6th place, good job. Carlos Sainz, 5th, good job also for him. He's probably the driver that switched team who is currently improving the most in his new car. Sergio Perez, 4th place, not bad at all, but this is also considering that Max Verstappen could not do a very good lap in his second outing for the reason I explained before. Otherwise, Verstappen would have been on top and Perez probably would have stayed 4th. Actually, Verstappen probably would have been on top. This is still hypothetical, since we don't know if he had taken that corner correctly, if the lap time would have been good enough. But Perez still 4th place. That's what the Red Bull team wants, so that he can help Max Verstappen. And with a good start tomorrow, maybe they can bring the fight to the Mercedes, but to the two Mercedes dominant since the beginning of the weekend. And this really seems like a track that suits them. It was a track that was a Mercedes track last year. Still, not everything is over for the race. We saw that depending on the type of tires, the Mercedes and the Red Bull behave differently. Actually, it seems like on the medium tire, the Mercedes are faster than on the soft tire, which is usually pretty surprising. But we're gonna probably gonna have some surprises tomorrow and see different strategies. The goal for the two Red Bull will be to have a good start and try to overtake Hamilton and Bottas at the start. It's a long run until the first corner, so there will be some aspiration that they can take from each other, and I hope we have an exciting race. I think Valtteri Bottas needs to do everything he can to redeem himself from Imola after the crash, especially if he wants to be in the championship title fight toward the end of the season. Hamilton, of course, will not give him anything, and neither will the Red Bull. So, hope we'll have an exciting race tomorrow, and everything is shaping up for it. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this. Remember to smash the like button and to subscribe to this channel. I'm counting on you. And I will see you again tomorrow after the Portuguese Grand Prix for a quick recap analysis as is custom for the F1 corner. And thank you. Have a good day.